All right.
Come on, you know that was coming. No, you didn't. I had a little
I did
surprise
not.
for you.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's only 20 seconds long. Don't worry about it. Gotta give it a nice little intro so everybody can get to know how degenerate we are.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Actually, I don't know where that's from, but anyways, let's get right into it. Welcome to the debut episode of the Big Papi podcast, brought to you by Big Papi Productions LLC. My name is Tony Gomez. I'm a man of many names. Today, I went with Tony Millones. My cousins call me that. Infer what you will with that name, but that's who I am. My man across from me, who will be sitting across from me for the foreseeable future. You know, I ain't no Skip Bayless when in terms of replacing hosts, but my man Big Papi Silos over here. Uh, and yeah, man, this is gonna be a sports podcast that we're gonna run every Friday. Um, Basically, me and Silos, we bet sports. I personally watch sports all fucking day long. Um, we make good money sometimes. Sometimes we fucking lose money, but overall we're profitable. I would like to say. I honestly have to look into that record because these books sometimes be hard to get the record. But yeah, so that's basically we spend like 2 hours a night most of the nights talking sports, talking bets, and just discussing sports in general. So that's where this came from, and yeah, my teams. So you guys know who we are, basically, who we rep. Baseball, the Angels. I was gonna say Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, but they don't call themselves that anymore. I don't even know what the fuck they call themselves anymore. But um, Angels. I'm a Lakers fan. I got Lakers right here. Los Angeles Lakers fan. For hockey, it's the Anaheim Ducks. Honda Center. I rock with them. They suck, but they're my trash. That's mine. Football, I'm a Rams fan. Before you guys start calling me a bandwagoner for the Super Bowl shit, um, I started watching football in 2017, and that's the first season that they had. So naturally, I picked an LA team because they were there. So don't give me no bullshit about being no fucking bandwagoner, right? It was before they won the chip and before the Super Bowl appearance. So, um, and now I'm gonna hand it over to my man Silos to give him a chance to introduce himself. Let him know who you are, Silos.
All right, for those of you, again, this is the inaugural Big Papi podcast brought to you by Big Papi Productions again. So my name is Carlos Ruiz, you know, but I go by Silos, Big Papi, whatever you want to call me, we got it.
All big
But,
poppies.
just so it's something that he did not mention. I will mention there is a generational gap between us. Right? This guy is about 14 years younger than I am. So we differ in our thought process when it comes to sports. Obviously, the real LA team right here representing the Dodgers. When it comes to football, I am not a Rams fan, nor I am from LA, but the first game that I ever saw as a kid was the Denver Broncos against the Houston Oilers, who don't exist anymore, technically
Fucking old
speaking.
head. What an old head.
And at the time, thanks to John Elway, I became a Denver Bronco fan. Since then, we do agree in the NBA. We both are Laker fans. When it comes to basketball, we agree. Then hockey, we don't agree because again, he's Anaheim and I'm from straight LA Kings, baby, all day. Um, and I actually watch college football as well, and I'm kind of a big fan of Boise State because of their earlier years back in the mid 2010s. They had a great run. So I really enjoyed that program, and I love the blue field, man. Come on, who can't love that blue field? And it doesn't hurt that they're the Boise State Broncos. So hey, that's just a little bit about us. Again, generational gap, so that's why we differ in our thoughts. But you guys will get to know us, by episode 60. You guys will know I'm the better one
Okay. All right.
because I'm the most
So
electrifying podcaster in podcasting entertainment.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure. If you want to call yourself that, I guess you. I'm the one that inferred that you were the Rock. So but you dealing with
I mean,
the
I took it as a
doctor over the
compliment,
doctor the
but I
doctor
mean,
of thugonomics over here.
yeah, I took it as a compliment. But honestly, I would rather be the Brett the Hitman Hart because I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Fair enough. So, anyways, let's get right into the first topic of the day. Oh yeah, before that, before we get into the first topic, I did want to mention since he mentioned he's straight from LA. I was born in Linwood, but I was only there for like a year. Then we moved to Fullerton, California, and I was raised, born in basically. I like to say born and raised in Buena Park because it was effectively Orange County, Buena Park, all that stuff, that general area. So that's why Angels, Ducks, fuck the Kings, fuck the Dodgers. But
I see you like the Disney teams.
the Disney teams. Well, we get into Mickey Mouse runs later. All right, you know all about those. But let's get into the first topic of the day. So topic number one. Bronny James. We're gonna talk about Bronny James. So Bronny James was picked 55th overall in the second round of the 2024 NBA draft about a month ago. It's been about a month, give or take. Um, so we're gonna give our thoughts on what we think about the pick, and I'll go first. So I like the pick. I do. A lot of people were saying he didn't deserve it. We're saying I think that's egregious to say he didn't deserve it. I mean, I get it. A lot of people look at his USC stats and say, what was it, 4 points per game? I don't know what it was. It was something low. He didn't put up good stats, but people are forgetting my man had the heart condition last year, and we're blessed that he's still with us today. And I think people are underscoring how much time he missed and how everybody else in the college game they were putting up these numbers, man. They were putting up the reps. They were getting better, and Bronny was just thankful to be alive and trying to recover to get back on the court. So I think people are underscoring that. He is a certified athlete. He's LeBron James' son, for crying out loud. He's got a great vertical. He's got a great body of work, and I like to think he could turn into a Rajon Rondo with the jump shot. And if he turns into anything close to Rajon in terms of the playmaker he is, because I like to think LeBron and Rajon are two very comparable IQ people in terms of how smart they are with the ball and how they lead offenses. I like to think he become that. If he can become the defender Rondo was in his prime, that would be great. We don't need him to be a certified stud just yet because we have LeBron and AD to do that for us. But if we can get a contributor, not saying this year, not even saying next year, but maybe you know within 2 years, I think he can do. I like the pick, so um, I think he's worth it. I honestly, at this point in the second round, there aren't really much left. I think my man Silos has something else to say about that, so I'll turn it over to him on his thoughts on the second round selection of the Los Angeles Lakers. Go ahead.
As a Laker fan, I was just glad they didn't take him first, like they were debating. There he was going to go first, second pick. I didn't like the pick. Honestly, Connect was a better pick that first. Second rounder, I didn't really like it. I think, to be honest with you, I think the only reason he was picked is his name. He's LeBron James' son. We do not have enough data on him to know how good he can be. Okay.
Fair enough.
Uh, the guy is certified athlete, just like his father. He is an athlete. He definitely, I do not take that away from him. And as a Laker fan, I'm never going to wish ill that he does bad. On the contrary, I hope this kid, goes out there and he makes the best of it, says, hey, you know what? I'm going to get out of my father's shadow and I'm going to do something about it. And, because right now, I mean, we know he's only scoring about 8 points a game, and most of it came in the last two games where he scored in double digits. But he definitely could be that guy, that go-to guy, and maybe he turns out to be an all-star and he proves me wrong, and maybe he did deserve that second round pick. But as of right now, because of the data, the available data that we currently have, I do not believe that he was worth that pick. Maybe in the fourth round or later pick, because again, it's just a data that's available. Not taking away anything from his athleticism, because his athleticism is there definitely, and the potential is there because we know who his father is, and we know that you know basketball is in his blood and it was instilled in him. But we definitely need a little bit more data, and that's all. But definitely, like I said, it's something that I don't think was worth the second pick.
Real quick, I think you were thinking of football in fourth round. There are only two rounds in basketball. I know you know that for drafts. You said
Yes,
fourth
you
round.
are 100%
My
correct.
man is out here creating
I've created a new
creating
whole NBA draft, bro.
two more rounds, bro. Two more rounds.
I know.
Uh,
I, it, I was
I
talking
was
about
like,
football earlier, and
yeah,
I just
yeah,
kind of
I
went.
know, I know. I gave you the
So
benefit of the doubt.
I apologize, and this is unedited, so this is going up.
Oh yeah, we're going raw with it, just straight up.
Yes.
Um, so I want to look at his contract real quick. 4 years, 7.9 million, and it's guaranteed. I may have said I like the pick. I don't think he's worth guaranteed money for 4 years. Are we really committing to 4 years of this? We don't even know what he is. Like you said, there's not enough stats. I agree on that. Um, so 7.9 million guaranteed is. I do think his father had his, even if LeBron didn't say anything to him, which he probably. I mean, not him. I mean JJ Redick and Rob Palinka. Even if he said nothing to him, they know. They don't gotta. If the two rounds went by and they didn't sign him or draft him, and then they didn't give him the money that they gave him, LeBron's gonna be like, "Yo, like, what's up? Like, you don't believe in my son," and then it's gonna cause friction within the team. So it's a strategy move from the Lakers to take him and give him this money to keep LeBron happy, because LeBron re up for 2 years. So it looks like it worked. He stayed for 2 more years. Real quick, I just want to look at his stats. He had an egregious
So
game.
I know.
Bronny
Let
James
me
had a.
touch on this
Go ahead.
contract really quick.
Uh huh.
I know you don't agree, but I kind of agree on that. 2 million, almost 2 million a year. He's gonna be a seat filler, man. He's gonna fill up those seats because he's gonna turn in those $100 tickets into $700 tickets.
When he
'Cause people,
plays, sure,
when
sure.
he plays, obviously when he plays, but he's gonna fill up those seats. So honestly, $2 million, I think they will get a return on their investment, and obviously they got part of it already by re-signing LeBron James.
I just don't like the guaranteed money, man. I just there are picks who I think are more deserving of guaranteed money. And like you, I mean, not to say you're contradicting yourself, but you said you didn't like the pick. You said we don't have enough stats, and then you're saying he's worth his money. So which is it? Is he worth the money, or is he not? Are there not enough
So here's the
stats?
thing. Again, I don't agree with the pick, but now you picked him, you give him the money, so his dad stays around. You keep him happy, because they're eventually gonna play together, and you're gonna fill up those seats, and
Hmm.
you're gonna get your money back. $2 million
Hmm.
is almost nothing to the NBA. Come on, the NBA makes a lot of money off of endorsements and
Hmm.
everything, and
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
off of
yeah.
ticket sales. So there's people that are gonna be paying anywhere between 20 to 25,000 for those courtside seats,
Right, right. Okay. So
and
you're
they're gonna
saying
get
money wise, it makes sense.
money
Money wise, it
wise,
makes sense.
the money that he is being paid makes sense.
Okay.
The pick, because of the data, does not make sense. But now that they did, I mean, they might as well get something out of it, right? It's all business.
Okay. I guess that's also why I like to pick is a business move, a strategy move. I think it's a chess move, man. We're playing chess, not checkers, right? So I think by signing him, I like the pick overall. I don't like the contract, but I think he's gonna, like you said, he's gonna fill seats. That's his gonna be his thing when he plays, because we don't know when he's gonna play.
Exactly.
JJ Redick said it's G League for the foreseeable future, so he won't even touch the Los Angeles Lakers basketball court until until he can dominate the G League, probably, or not dominate, but like 15 points a game, maybe 14, something like that, till he can prove that he can actually hang with these NBA players. Man, the NBA is no joke. The skill gap is crazy from the G League to the actual pros. So real quick, we're gonna go into the stats. He had an egregious game one where he only put up 4 points on like 22% shooting. Yeah, 8.8 points a game since overall now. 3.5 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.8 steals, half a block, 2.3 turnovers, shooting 35% from the field, 16% from 3 point in over 4 games on 25 minutes a game. I think he's improving. The numbers are showing that after game one. He's getting better. The 35% is much better than 22% in game one. 16% is egregious. It's not going to get it done. You might as well not even shoot it if you're shooting 16% at that point. 2.3 turnovers isn't crazy, but on 25 minutes, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't been able to watch these games. I don't know where I can find them. So I don't know how often he's holding the ball for. But if he's bringing up the ball a lot of the time, 2.3 turnovers, you take that on 25 minutes a game. So yeah, any thoughts on the stats? I think he's on the right path. He's on the right path.
Yeah, his first two games were pretty horrible. I mean, again, I wouldn't. That doesn't. But his last two games after that, the 2 games after that, he's showing some promise. You know that he's showing the athlete that he can be. Because if I'm not mistaken, he also had on his last game he also had 2 block shots.
Hmm.
Which if he keeps improving on that, the one thing he does have to minimize is the turnovers. He has 2 turnovers. I mean, almost per game. I think if I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, he's not. I'm not saying I want him to be perfect, 0 turnovers. Uh, but if he's going to do that, I mean, he offensively he has to pick it up. He really has to
Hmm.
step it up and make up for those 2 turnovers. So, I mean, if you're going to score 8 points, I mean, at this point, you might as well score 12 points to make up for the 2 turnovers that you are doing. That way,
Okay.
it keeps it a little balanced, and
Hmm.
the it's he's not a liability to the Laker team, even in the G League.
Okay. So with that, we will move on to we're gonna talk Paul George now. So Paul George, again, a month ago. Unfortunately, we didn't get to record this a month ago. Or even start the podcast a month ago. But Paul George
Should have.
signs a 4 year, $212 million max contract with the 76ers. Um, so real quick, we're just gonna, Paul George on his podcast, podcast P with Paul George. He says that he wanted to stay in LA. It started off. He says they offered him a low ball. It was damn right disrespectful. I mean, my God, 2 years, $60 million. Man, we got rookie extensions worth more than this, and we're talking about a bona fide all star and Paul George being offered 30 million a year. I mean, you can't make it up. So that was the first offer. Then they go into this and they go, we'll give you 3 years, 150 million, but with a, um, sorry, this with Paul George. He says, I want a 3 years, 150 million with a no trade clause included, and the Cripplers refused it. Um, if they don't want a no trade clause, it's because they were thinking of trading him. They wanted that option. So, that's also, in my opinion, it's a slap to the face. You can't disrespect me, like that, and that's what Paul probably thought too. Um, and then another offer that he, countered with was, okay, so sign me to 4 years, $212 million without a trade clause, right? And they also, like they wouldn't pay him this, and I don't understand this at all. Uh, you're opening up. I don't know when the stadium's open. Is it next year? Do you know if it's next year when they're opening
I
up that new
believe
stadium?
it's already next year, if not the year before. But I know that it's almost done. It's almost complete.
Yeah, yeah. How do you not sign this man? You pay him whatever the fuck he wants, man. I mean, it's Paul George. He puts people in seats. We talked about this before. Create your prototypical, desirable best player, desirable traits in a player, right? It's Paul George. We said this multiple times. It's Paul George. He got the three
Absolutely.
ball. He's got the handle. He's got the athleticism, especially pre-injury. Paul George, before he broke his leg when he was on Team USA a couple years ago, almost a decade ago, which is kind of crazy to think about. But you know, he has everything that you would want in a player. He puts people in seats. He's had multiple years where he's proven he's an MVP caliber player. Um, and you don't give him the max, who are you going to pay that money to? I mean, I don't know who. I think they gave it to James Harden, but not all of it. You know, I mean, when Kawhi doesn't play, which is 60% of his games, who's gonna sell seats? You know, especially when they know Kawhi's out. Who's gonna sell seats at that new stadium? I hope Steve Ballmer is ready to cash out those checks because he's gonna have to put up money to cover the payroll for a while. Because I don't think they're gonna sell many like out seats like they would have with Paul George. Paul George is a seat holder.
They're gonna kill that stadium before it even opens. Let me tell you.
Yeah, man, it's a mess. Like you lucky that the Lakers were renting out that stadium to you, man, because you ain't gonna be able to put in seats, man. When Kawhi's out, it's gonna be James Harden selling seats by himself. I know he's an LA native, but he's past his prime. If we're gonna be honest here, he's not Houston James Harden anymore. He is still a contributable player. He's still debatably a borderline all star. He didn't make it last year, so that's why I say debatable. Um, so yeah, I would have paid Paul whatever the fuck he wanted to stay in LA, man. I don't get it, man. He offered you 3 years, 150 million with a no trade clause. You said no, which is stupid. And then he says 4 years, 212. What he got in Philly, he says he wanted to stay. He literally says it in the podcast. You can look it up. He says LA is where he wanted to win the championship. He wanted to end his career. It's home to him, and you wouldn't give him what he wanted. I don't think he was asking for a lot, man. I really don't. I actually think you could have paid him more. I don't know if that was the total max, but man, pay this man his money. All right, quit fucking around. But it's too late now. Obviously, a month ago it happened. I'm just saying. I don't know what the Clippers management were thinking. I think they need to be drug tested, all of them. And we need to find out what they were on. What were they taking, man? Because I don't know. This makes no sense to me. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Silos. I've ranted enough about this. I really
No,
don't
yeah, no.
understand it.
President of basketball operations, Lawrence Frank for the Clippers. He definitely needs to be fired, man. You know, I don't, I'm as a Laker fan, hey, the Clippers are our little baby brothers, so we've always dominated them. But there's been times that they've gotten a hold of the Lakers, especially the past few years. And if if I was the president of basketball operations, and that's the offer that I got from Paul George, he's getting it. I'm gonna sign him. He's one of those players where he's just an overall great player, and you don't have to worry about any outside noise with him because you've had outside noise with all the other stars. Harden has had some outside noise out there.
Those
Eh,
strip clubs.
exactly. And Paul George, you don't hear anything bad about him in the media. He just goes in, plays basketball, and does what he needs to do, and then goes home. And I think that's worth every penny. I mean, because you're not gonna have to worry about covering his tracks on anything or trying to like calm down the media. Like, hey, this guy did this guy did that. Absolutely not. And not only
like
that, but again, like you pointed out earlier, he puts people in those seats. And with their that new Linwood complex opening up soon, you need that because it's gonna. I believe it's a few $1 billion it's gonna cost to completely build that place, and it's beautiful. But how beautiful is it gonna be when you have Los Bookies probably filling up more seats than the Clippers? Come on, man.
shout out Los Bookies real quick.
I mean, I had to, bro, because
We
I
gonna have
guarantee you
we
they
gonna
will
have
fill that place
fans.
out.
We gonna have fans on Los Bookies.
No, they literally will probably fill that place up more than the Clippers.
Yeah,
Unless a generational talent comes to visit that people want to go see. But other than that, come on, come on, guys. I don't know what the Clippers were doing. I don't know what their front office, their ownership was thinking. So, you know what? Too bad for them. They lost very great talent, and
yep,
you know the Sixers. They gained great talent.
absolutely, absolutely. So, with that, we're gonna go into real quick. The question is: are the 76ers legit Finals contenders? I'm gonna go ahead and kick this one off, Silos. My answer is yes. I think they are legit Finals contenders. I see it's one, two, three. It goes Celtics, 76ers, and then the Bucks. Those are my top three. I see this going. I don't know. Boston might get 67 games. winning. I see the Philly being the second seed in the East. They probably will get around 58 to 60 games. If obviously there's always an if with Joel Embiid. When you have Joel Embiid as injury prone as he is, I love the man as a player. He's funny, and Paul is the same thing. He's also an injury prone player. You can't really control injuries, but it's always a caveat with these Sixers. With Embiid, now you add Paul George to it, and if they're healthy, I see 58 to 60 games. I think they don't get past 60 though. I think they're gonna. These new additions always struggle to start to get a flow, to get the rhythm going. They are gonna have a full off season, right? It's not a mid-season trade. Mid-season trades are completely different. We've seen it before. Mid-season trades are not. I guess this is a signing. I don't know. Was it a signing trade? Do you know if it was a signing trade? I don't think it was a signing trade, right?
I don't believe
It
it.
was
I
just a
think
straight
he
up.
was a
It
yeah,
was
he
just
was
a
a free
full on
agent.
signing, free agent. Yeah, okay. Because I thought I read somewhere that was a signing trade, but no, she's just signed straight up to the Sixers. So the Clippers got nothing in return. That makes sense. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but so yeah, if the Sixers are healthy, it's going to be probably 2-3. So it's going to be Sixers versus Bucks in the second round. Going to be a tough matchup, probably. Other than the Toronto Raptors in 2019, when the Sixers played the Toronto Raptors in 2019 in the second round, it's probably going to be their most difficult challenge in the second round. This year they didn't even get to the second round, right? Or did they go second round? No, they lost
The
in the first. Yeah,
76ers? I don't
they
believe
lost
so.
in the first. They lost in the first round. Yeah. So they're gonna play the Bucks in the second round. I I think the obviously you have Dame and Giannis on the Bucks, and they're bona fide superstars. Unless Dame is on the West Coast, which is if you look it up, his numbers on the West Coast for some reason ever since he got traded to the Bucks, they're not good, man. Look him up. It's crazy. He has terrible stats on the West Coast. Anytime he's on Pacific Coast time, he just has bad stats. But yeah, they're studs, but the supporting cast, I just don't have faith in them to get it done. They're not what they used to be. They lost some key pieces. Obviously, they still have Bobby Portis, who's a very contributing player. Um, but I just don't see them beating this Sixers team again. Healthy, of course. It's always got to be healthy because without a healthy Sixers team, they might not even get past the first round. We saw that with the Bucks. They got bounced in the first round by the Indiana Pacers, led by Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, who made it to these finals. Congrats to the Indiana Pacers. That was a very unexpected run, but with the injuries and all that, you never know. So, um, you know, I think they have a real shot, the Sixers, at beating Boston. I do. Um, let's not forget, all due respect to Jaylen Brown, the Finals MVP, all that stuff, but I don't want to forget. And I know some people watching this, some you probably were part of the team that was over here saying Jaylen Brown in that left hand. There was a meme everywhere. Jaylen Brown doesn't have a left hand. Jaylen Brown can't handle with his left. He can't go right. Left. Um, People were giving him shit left and right. And the Celtics run this year has an asterisk. I don't want to hear it. All right, Boston fans, you can come at me all you want. I want all smoke. I never back down from anyone when it comes to sports debates or anything in general. But they who'd they play, man? Miami injury. Okay, Jimmy was out. Boston moves on. They face no, not the 76ers. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell out. They go into the East Finals. Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers was out game 3 and 4. And then they go on to the finals and they beat the Mavericks. Impressive nonetheless, but that man Luka Doncic, he was hurt. They literally 2 injuries at one point because we're betting men, so we knew every time he was hurt and it changes everything. So my man was hurt. So in East Finals, I see it Sixers, I see it Boston, and I gotta see. I can't say for sure will the Sixers go to the finals. I'm gonna wait for at least a month or two of the first season to see how they play. But shit, if I see a performance from Paul George and Joel Embiid, if they start going on generational runs in the first month, I might on month one I might just be like, you know what, give me the fucking Sixers. I'll put like a 1,000 on the motherfuckers. So Yeah, I think the Sixers can very well go to the finals. We all have to wait and see, but those are my thoughts on whether or not they're finals contenders. You want to take over, Celos, give your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think he's a great addition to the 76ers. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, and now with Paul George, I think they will be top contenders. I think they can definitely compete. But again, you have to also keep in mind Joel Embiid missed 29 straight games last year, and if they're gonna make these runs, he has to stay healthy. Definitely has to stay healthy for them to be able to compete. Because again, these injuries they happen, and we saw last year. You pointed out a few injuries that again these happen if they happen during the playoffs. It's not going to help your team at all. So they have to be able to keep Joel Embiid, healthy. Also, Paul George isn't the youngest guy in the league, but I mean he can still ball, and if they're both healthy and going into the playoffs, I do see them, possibly contending for the NBA championship. And will they win it next year? Probably not. I mean they are going to have a full off season to get to know each other, get to know they like to stand and where they like to shoot. But definitely, they will be contenders. I will give them that. And again, but to be honest with you, this 4 year, 212 million. I think it's more they're banking on Paul George in the next 2 years to win a championship, and they could care less if the next 2 years after that he did anything. But knowing Paul George is the player that he is, he's going to give it his all for the 4 years. And that's why I think the 76ers, won and Clippers lost. And that's why at the end of the day, it's all about winning. And I think 76ers did what they needed to do to improve.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um,
So,
so with that said, we're gonna move on. Still talking Paul George. Just slightly different topic. It's the question is this trade? Sorry, the Paul George, the infamous Paul George, now infamous because we see what happened at the end. 5 years later, is the Paul George for say Gilgis Alexander package trade the worst trade in NBA history? So real quick, for my people who don't know exactly what this trade is, it hasn't even been fully realized. That's how far back this goes, far ahead it goes. So in this trade in 2019, uh, Paul George was sent to the LA Clippers from the OKC Thunder, and in return, the OKC Thunder received Shea Gilgeous Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and 5 first-round picks, including 2 pick swaps. Okay, so that in 5 years, fast forwarding 5 years from 2019 to 2024, we have, obviously they still have SGA. I don't even know if Gallinari is still on the roster. I don't think he is though. I don't even think he's in the league anymore, but he might be. That might be an egregious mistake on my part, whether or not Gallinari is still on the roster. But I don't remember him contributing much, so that's not my fault. And Danilo, step your game up. Maybe I'll remember you if you actually start playing well. But we have over here the Miami 20. One of the five picks was turned into Trey Mann. It was a first round 2021 pick from Miami. Trey Mann was selected at 18th. After that, we have the Clippers 2022 unprotected first rounder, which would turn into Jim Williams at number 12. Who's a starter, bona fide stud. He's a most definitely a promising young player who's already putting up starter numbers. We have the 2023 first round pick that became Jaime Jaquez Jr., which is I think he was probably that pick was traded to Miami as what I would guess.
it was.
Uh, the Clippers 2024 unprotected first rounder became Dylan Jones. And then we still have yet to see a 2025 first round pick swap. They have the option to swap picks, which they probably will, given the fact that Paul George is no longer on the Clippers. So another mistake made by the Clippers. And we have the 2026 unprotected first rounder. I think that's probably going to be from the Clippers. So they still have another pick to cash in on and a pick swap. So they still got 2 more players that are going to be added to that OKC Thunder roster. Now, as far as do I think this is the worst trade in history, it's not yet. Okay, we don't know exactly what this Southern team can do. We know that they probably have a real shot at winning multiple chips with this roster. They were the first seed in the West this year. They lost to a debatably better team. I do think the Mavericks are better, but it was a close series. Um, I don't know. Do you remember if it went 6 or 7? I think it did go 7, right? I think they forced Game
Um,
7 because it was like buzzer beater.
I
Yeah, it
want to
was Game
say
7.
you are correct.
Yeah, Game 7. So they go to Game 7, which is very very impressive for the fact that you look at them a year ago and they I don't remember if they made the playoffs, but they did not. They definitely took a huge stride forward. Um, so you know, looking at it right now, it's definitely one of the worst. I might put it top three. It might be two in my opinion, but I still don't think it's better. And it's debatable, but I don't think it's a worse trade than the Celtics-Nets trade of 2013. Real quick, let me run through it real quick because it's pretty egregious. So the Celtics gave to the Brooklyn Nets, they sent over Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Jason Terry, DJ White, uh, all in exchange for
You
pretty
don't forget
much.
they also traded the 2017 and first and second round
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah. My bad. I was gonna get into that, but they
You
also
want to know how
traded.
I know that? Because I believe that to
Yeah.
be one of the worst. And Boston received Keith Bogans, Marshawn Brooks, Chris
No,
Humphreys,
that's
Chris
I was about
Joseph.
to I was about to I was about to say that. You cut me
Yeah,
off.
well, that's
I
who I believe because you didn't know who I thought was the worst trade, and that I believe is the worst trade, and not
that's the same trade. That's the same trade. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
But you were
What are you
talking
talking about?
before that. You were talking about the
What are you
Paul
talking about,
George
bro?
trade.
No, I asked which is the worst trade in NBA
Oh,
history. Okay, and
I
I
agree
said
with you.
I said I think that it's one of the worst. I don't know if it is the worst, and that's why. No, that was my pick. You trying to steal my pick? No, I said this is my worst trade in NBA history. The Celtics Nets trade. The Celtics sent over Paul Pierce, KG, all those guys, and in return, the Nets sent over Chris Humphries, Gerald Wallace, Marshawn Brooks, Chris Joseph, Keith Bogans, 3 first round. See, you cut me off, bro. You trying to look smart, but I got you, man. 3 first round picks with the right to swap first round picks in 2017.
Correct.
And you see, why are you trying to take this from me? You knew I was gonna say this.
I know I didn't.
So
Either that or I
yeah,
forgot because I have a really
we
bad
did
memory.
this
Let me tell you.
we did this in the test run, man. I won't stand for
Oh
that.
man.
Oh man. So anyways, I'll keep going because the Brooklyn Nets would go 20-62 in the 15-16 season, which got them the third pick in the 2016 NBA draft, which would turn into the future Finals MVP Jalen Brown out of Cal. And then the following year, the Brooklyn Nets also shat the bed and played. They won 21 games, lost 61, and that landed them the number one pick in the 17 draft, Jason Tatum out of Duke. Um,
Well,
so,
they traded it to the for a third rounder
oh
and a
yeah,
first rounder the
yeah.
following year, but it turned
Correct,
into
correct.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum. Yeah.
And
So
you know
they
what?
had to won.
And thanks to
Now they're
that,
right.
they're this year's
They're the
champion.
champions. And also the 2022 finals berth that they also had. So that, and then they also got a 2018 first rounder, which was used to trade for Kyrie Irving. Which without that chain of events, we all know if anything changed in the past, the present would change too.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Um, so we wouldn't have this Celtics team, which I was very distraught about when they won. I have a meme that I shared when they lost, but that's for another time. I'll post it on the story if you guys want. But let me know in the comments, and I'll post
Yeah,
it on the
just let us
story.
know.
Let
So I
us know.
guess we both
So
agree on that, but honorable mention for worst trade, and I've talked about this. It happened in 1996 when the Charlotte
here we go.
Hornets traded away the rights. Well, they traded away Kobe Bryant
Draft
for Vlade
draft
Divac.
pick.
And come on, man. I mean,
Rest in peace to the man Kobe Bryant,
yeah,
and
rest in
Gianna
peace, Kobe
Gianna too.
and Gianna. But come on, that has got to be the way because I mean, Vlade Divac was definitely a good center. I don't take that away from him.
Solid player.
But Kobe Bryant was the Black Mamba. He was just Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers got a solid 18 years from that man and 5 championships.
Are you done? Can I tell you why you're
And
wrong?
and you can say whatever you want about me being wrong, but you got a bona fide top 2 player in the league, and we're not going to get into the top players because I know you and I disagree on that. But I'm just going to tell you that top 2 versus somebody that's not even in the top 10. Just going to throw that one out there, and you can say why I'm wrong because
you
Vlade
can say
Divac is not
LeBron.
a top 10 player.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
No,
gonna say
no,
something
no,
else. I
Vlade
was, I
Divac.
was about to. Okay.
No, no, no.
Why the fuck would I ever argue for Vlade Divac being a
No,
top
no. I'm
10
just
player?
saying, like you get a number. Okay, you can
Trying
make the
to put
argument
words in my mouth.
Kobe Bryant is top 5, but even then, Vlade Divac's nowhere in the top 10. Not even near. I mean, I
Look,
don't even
man.
think he's in the top 25. But
I get what you're saying. Hindsight's 2020, right? Here's why I think you're wrong. So that pick, I don't even remember if the Lakers drafted Kobe, and I think they did draft Kobe for
no,
them.
it was
Wi-
he was
No, this
drafted by
Charlotte for
Charlotte
before
and traded.
before the Lakers. So the Lakers told the Hornets to draft Kobe, and
Yeah,
that's what
because
they did.
the
They were
Hornets
gonna
needed a
trade him. They were
center,
gonna
and they
trade him.
said, "Hey, we got Vladdy."
Yeah. So they exchanged the pick for Vladi. Vladi was a very solid center, man. I don't have his stats in front of me,
Absolutely
but I know he was a very solid player. Even he went on to play for the Kings after the Lakers,
correct.
right?
And
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
still solid. He was still a solid.
Still, then he was a solid player, man. Not a bad player at all. For basically a 13th pick, okay. You traded. It's not a bad trade at all. Okay, that's why I keep saying you can't say it's the worst trade, because they got something out of Lottie. Okay, the Hornets did, and obviously they got what Lakers get at the time. Tell me what they got. An
Yeah, Kobe
unproven
Bryant.
prospect, an unproven high school, straight out of high school prospect. That's what they got.
You
We
know the
can't.
funny
We
thing
didn't
is,
know. We didn't know that
I'll
he was
tell you a
going to be
funny
this
story
the Black
because right
Mamba.
now I'm talking about Kobe Bryant being unproven and being traded to the Lakers. Yet I don't like a second round pick and Bronny James earlier. So who's
This is what I'm
unproven?
saying. This is what I'm saying.
But yay, it's hindsight because it's Kobe Bryant.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, when I look at these two trades that we're talking about, Thunder and the one I brought up with the Celtics, the Nets. I mean, people were talking about it at first because nobody knew what was going to happen. People thought that the Celtics got fleeced, right, by giving up these three past their prime washed players. Let's be honest, these guys were old,
Oh yeah, they were
you
past
know,
their prime.
and they're way past their prime. Okay, on paper, I remember they were talking about the Nets. Oh, Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Brooke Lopez, and Jason Terry coming off the bench, right? That's all they were talking about. And then what they give back, Chris Humphries, Joe Wallace, everybody was like, the Celtics got fleeced. Those picks, nobody really gave a fuck about picks back then, really. Like not like they're valued today. Because
Oh
I
yeah,
remember the
absolutely not.
media, they were shitting on the Celtics for this trade, and look at them now. I don't even know. I think the best that Nets team did with that Paul Pierce KG core was I don't know if it was 2 or 1, but they got bounced in the first. They didn't even they ran into LeBron. That's what they did. As much as Paul Pierce loves to say that he for somehow takes credit for LeBron's improvement. No, Paul, stop it. Stop it, man. We know you love to gas yourself up, and I think you're funny because you say outrageous shit, and I fuck with that. But it's still outrageous nonetheless. So, yeah, I think you can't say that Hornets trade is one of the worst. Only if you're a man from the future, and I don't think you are one. So,
I am in the future now, so I can hindsight say that. But
if
like I
we
said, if it was in 1996, I would say that was a solid trade because again, Kobe Bryant at the time was unproven. So, but he proved us
I
all
just
wrong, man.
I can't say it's the
Second only
worst
to Michael Jordan.
because the Hornets they got something in return. He was a serviceable center for years, a decade after that. Not a
Yeah,
decade,
but they
at
didn't get
least
any
five
championships
to
out
seven.
of it. Come on,
Okay,
man.
well,
That's the
so
goal
it's the
for every team.
Hornets. It's the Hornets. They're fucking Charlotte, man. I don't. They were Charlotte back then. They went to New Orleans, but then they came back to Charlotte. But yeah, man, it's Charlotte, man. They're a smart market team. All right? It's not the same as having the Los Angeles Lakers who went and got Shaq to pair with Kobe. Okay, that's not fair.
Hey, that's who replaced Vlade Divac, and it was all over from there.
They went and got Shaq, man, and I respect to the Lakers for pulling that off, shining Shaq, but That's Superman right there. So,
The real
I think
Superman.
the real Superman. No shade to Dwight Howard. We still respect the ring you got
Oh
us in
yeah,
2020.
still respect to the man, man. He was a good player.
Hmm. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to real quick. We just want to touch on Team USA. They're doing great. They did have a short, not a short, but I think they came up a little short. They won, but they only won by 6. I think the final score was USA 99, Australia 93. Way too close. And when you have the bona fide studs that are on Team USA with LeBron, Steph Curry, KD, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, it's Devin Booker. The list goes on, man. It's crazy. Bam Adebayo, Tyrese Halliburton. It's so many stars on this team, and you went up against Josh Giddey? Come on, man. What are we doing? You should be blowing this team out. Nobody stands a chance against this USA team. Okay, we both agree on that. Losing Kawhi does hurt, but the Team USA coach did say it was a Team USA call. It was not him. It was not Kawhi. Kawhi wanted to play for Team USA. Why? I'm not. I mean, pride probably. We all. I would love to lace up for Team USA one day in any sport, but
Yeah.
um, I think the man needs to focus on playing for the Clippers, man. Look up his stats on playing. He plays 60 to 65% of his games. Okay, so he's just not. He needs to focus on playing for the fucking Clippers. That's my thing. You can't be playing more games when you can't fucking play for your own team that pays you millions of dollars. I love Kawhi, by the way. No hate on Kawhi. He's a great player. I was cheering him on in 2019 when he won that Toronto Raptors ring. I think he's a great player. He's one of my favorite players,
Mhm.
actually. I just think he needs to focus on playing because it's so. Jesus
That's
Christ.
because he likes to laugh.
He's
Has an awkward laugh, but hey, love the man.
a
He's
very
a great ball player.
he's a great ball player, man. I love Kawhi, but um, apparently he's funny. According to Cameron Brink, she says he's a very funny guy. He's a fun guy. That's what he says. So we can move on real quick. LeBron's leadership. I love to see it. King James. Carlos, my man, Silos won't call him King James probably, but
Nah,
uh,
he's LeBron
there's
James.
there's there's no denying that he was the best player in the league from 10 on, at least 10. Maybe you could argue 9, but
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
I know you're an old head. You're gonna say old head shit. So but LeBron's you can't deny the leadership role we're seeing from him. Everybody's listening to LeBron. Nobody's questioning that leadership. No, ain't nobody questioning shit from LeBron. LeBron talks. Everybody's quiet. They're all listening. They're all paying attention. So when one of the greatest of all time, okay, let's not get into it. One of the greatest is talking. You listen. So with that said, any thoughts on Team USA from you, Big Papi Silos?
No, they're it's almost like every year they're gonna go out there and they're gonna dominate. They're gonna do their thing. Only a couple, very handful of times have they really shut the bed, but I mean, I don't see that happening this year. If it does, I mean, hell, I
No
don't know what
chance.
I there's no words that can remotely explain what happened because I don't think there's a team out there right now that can beat this team. And you are right. I mean, I'm not a huge LeBron James fan. I'm a Laker fan, but not a LeBron James fan. But he has some leadership skills that have helped this team, and I think he has done enough to prove that he's leading this team and will win. But we'll just have to wait and see if they actually will. It's we can't call it's a lock because you know what? Sometimes we can say it's a lock at -900, and
Shit, don't
we know what
don't
happens with those,
don't
man.
bring
You
up
should have
the
taken the
pain.
plus minus the plus
The
1,000.
plus one. No, it's probably plus 450 because they never
It,
really
it was probably,
equal
but
out.
it was
Yeah,
just
I know what you're saying. I get the sentiment. Yeah,
But I think that, like you said, I don't think
that's my
there's any.
fault
They
though.
have no competition right now, and I think Team USA. And you know what?
Nobody.
We have the red, white, and blue one all together right here. Definitely,
Damn
I
straight.
think
Damn
definitely that's
straight.
who we're rooting for, and that's who we
We
wanted to win.
we love America. Okay, we love it. Absolutely. Fucking red, white, and blue. The eagle. I don't think you have an eagle. We should get a soundboard with the eagle screech so we can play that shit. Play that shit. Um,
Absolutely. Just since you brought that up really quick, I'm a huge American, and I love the flag because my cousin, may he rest in peace. He definitely, he served their country for many years. He had a couple tours in Afghanistan, and he unfortunately passed away. But he was a huge American, and I carry that with pride until this day. So, shout out
Absolutely.
to all our military men out there and women that served our
Absolutely.
beautiful country. Because thanks to you, we can do shit like this and be on a stupid podcast talking some dumbass shit about people we don't even know,
Bunch of
and they won't know us
degenerates.
until
That's what
they.
we are.
Yeah, we're a couple degenerates, on the podcast. So hey,
Hmm.
gotta love America, right? So thank you to all our military
Absolutely.
men and women.
I co-sign everything he just said. Okay, I can't put it in better words how I feel about America. I love America. Silos, you beautiful words from Silos right there.
Yes,
I can't
sir.
top that. I cannot top that. So, without further ado, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go into women's hoops, the W, as they call it, the WNBA. We're gonna talk Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, Rookie of the Year debate. Lord knows the media won't stop fucking asking these women about each other, man. I mean, it's to be honest, it's kind of getting annoying. I'm sure they're annoyed. Just look at their faces when they get asked these questions about each other. They're just like, "Oh, here we go again. Another Quakeling, another Angel question." Oh yeah. I don't blame them,
Absolutely.
man. They're so egregious when they ask these questions, but it sells, so I get it. But anyways, I'm gonna look into. We're talking rookie of the year debate. I think Let me look up Caitlin's stats real quick.
Let me
I
let
can
me
have
take
it.
the lead on this really quick because
Go ahead. Go
um,
ahead.
you and I had a conversation before a while back where I told you that I thought Angel Reese was a good basketball player, and I didn't think she was even close to Caitlin Clark at any given time. Uh, Fortunately for Angel Reese, she had 15 consecutive double doubles, and she looked great doing it. She broke the record for consecutive doubles that was set by, I believe, Candace Parker back in 2009. I think with
Mhm.
14 maybe, or less than
I
that.
think so. Yeah, I think it was Candace. Candace did that on
Yeah,
the
I know it was kind of. I
squats.
just don't remember how many, but she
Oh, it was
did break
it was
that
14.
record.
She broke it on 15. Yeah, she
Yeah,
broke it
she
on
did
15.
break it, and she started making me a believer, man. Angel Reese, I think she's up
Absolutely.
there, and I mean, I still think Caitlin Clark might be a tad better, just a tad. But if Angel Reese continues, playing the way she has been playing these past couple weeks, I think it's going to be very close competition for Rookie of the Year, which I think is great for women's basketball. Because nobody really talks about women's basketball, man. We started watching it because we started betting on women's basketball, man. We started paying attention.
Yeah.
You know, the Minnesota Lynx, which we love. Uh, but
Sometimes we don't love them, but most of the time we do
But most
because they
of the
make
time
us
we
money.
do. But
They make us money.
getting back to Reese and Clark, man, I think they're the WNBA's version of Bird and Johnson. They're a
Absolutely.
competition, and they should embrace it because they're the
Absolutely.
ones filling the seats. Um,
Yep.
Many of us know WNBA loses millions of dollars every year, and I think thanks to them, they're going to recoup some of those millions. I mean, not fully, but I think they're going to recoup these millions.
It'll take time.
And
It'll take time.
the more people watch, they might not start losing money. And guess what? All these players asking for these players to get paid more. Maybe now that they're not losing money, they'll start getting paid more. I truly believe it
Absolutely.
because you know what? I've been watching some of these games. It's a lot different than men's basketball, a lot different. But now it's becoming exciting again, and I think that's great. It's great for the sport, and
Hmm.
congrats to both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I think you guys are doing great for the sport. You guys need to become best friends and embrace that rivalry. And hey, if you guys got to talk shit to each other, talk shit to each other. It doesn't matter, on the court, off the court.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I I'm pretty sure you guys respect each other, and I hope you guys call each
No
other and
doubt.
say, hey, great game, guys, great game.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I agree. I think they need to with the Bird Johnson sentiment. They could be what they were for the NBA in the '80s.
Absolutely.
They That's why the media keeps selling this shit to us. You know, Reese Clark, Reese Clark, Reese Clark. You know, um, tomorrow's the All Star game, so that should be fun. Tomorrow's the All Star game. Um, right? Or am I wrong about that? It
No,
is
you are
tomorrow. Yeah, yeah,
100% correct. Which
yeah. That's right.
actually
Okay.
they're both in the All Star team.
Yeah, but so how is that set up, real quick? I don't want to get too far because we're talking Clark Reese. We don't want to get into the All Star game too much, but
To be honest
they
with you,
they
I don't
they they
watch
they
enough.
they they picked the. Hold on, I have it here on the right in front of me. Hold on. So we have Team USA. They're gonna do the Team USA roster top down. They're gonna play the WNBA All Stars. That's what they're doing, which is actually I don't know if they do this every year. But let me look at the roster for WNBA. Yeah, they got studs on this team, man. Obviously, our girls, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, are on the roster. That's going to be fun to see a pick and roll between those two. The crowd's going to get hype. I'm going to get hype.
Oh
I
yeah, absolutely.
I should watch this game. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing exactly at 5:30 tomorrow, but I might be grinding on some making some money. But
Yeah, I'll be
uh,
sleeping to be working graveyard Saturday night.
there you go. So I might catch this game. I don't know. We'll see. We got to make money at the end of the day, but yeah, this team is stacked on both sides. Obviously, Team USA is going to be Team USA, which Caitlin should be on. But we'll talk about it another time. To be honest, we don't want to digress too much. We're still talking Reese Clark out here. But yeah, this Team USA team is a studs, man. Angel Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Plum, Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi. I mean, who haven't I named, man? It's crazy. It's a crazy stacked team. These women are the best that the league has to offer on Team USA. The All Stars are just there with them. Obviously, Team USA is going to be better. They picked them for a reason to be to represent the red, white, and blue. But yeah, it's going to be great. So I want to get back to the Reese Clark debate. I think Angel. I always knew Angel was a good player. I never thought she was a bad player. I think she put up good numbers in LSU. She had great flashes in LSU. But that LSU team was a top-down team. It wasn't led by Angel. Like Angel wasn't carrying that team on her back. They had all types of players. They had Vlade Johnson on the team. They had eventually they had Haley Van Lith join that team. But that team was a great team, top down. Okay, there's a reason they won the chip 2 years ago, and they made the Elite Eight. They made the Elite Eight, right, where they lost to Caitlin Clark in the Iowa women's basketball team. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I still think Caitlyn is having a more impressive season than Angel, and that's hard to say because look at Angel's numbers and they're great. But I just think the difference is I have to knock Angel for that 41% from the field shooting percentage. I think it's still 41%. Let me make sure I have that right. I just think when you're a post player, you can't be shooting 41. It says here she shoots. One second. Give me a sec. I'll get it right here. Just gotta find the stats. She shoots 40.2%. Now, okay, that is not gonna get it done. You're a post player, okay? I know it's not. I know the shooting percentages in the NBA are higher than the WNBA across the board, but 40% won't get it done as a post player, okay? Um, Especially when her shots mostly come inside the paint, because again, she's a post player. I think where you know Caitlyn shoots 39% from the field, she's shooting outside most of the time. She'll get to the rim. She'll obviously, of course, she gets to the rim at will, but she shoots from three. Man, she shoots the three ball well. Um, where you can knock Caitlyn is the turnovers, man. But I have to look up her usage rate. I don't know what it is, but I just know it's high, man. I've watched Caitlyn games, Caitlyn Clark, and rebound, defensive rebound, boom, Caitlin Clark. She run up. She's dishing to Leah Boston. She's dishing to Nelissa Smith and the crew. You know, she's dishing to them, and that the ball's in her hands most of the time. So how can you knock her for turning it over? You know, if you're giving me shit, she had 19 assists. She almost had 20 in her last game on Wednesday, I think it was. Um, if you're getting 19 assists and you turn the ball five times, you know, basically a 4-to-1 turnover ratio, assist to turnover ratio. Give me that all day, man. I
Absolutely
think
agree.
people are not looking at that turnover stat correctly. Okay, she has the ball in her hands damn near all the time. She brings it up, she outlets. fast break, it's in her hands. Okay, obviously she's gonna have a higher turnover number. When you have the ball in your hands, 90%. I'm not saying 90%. I'm just using as a number. I don't know what the number is, but when you have the ball most of the time in your hands, your turnover numbers are gonna be higher. So let's stop knocking her for the turnovers. I do think she needs to cut them down. Ideally, the three. If you can come from right now, she's like 5 to 6. If you can come down to three, I think that's a lot better. But um, yeah, I just think Kaylin has a much. She has a bag. She has handles. She has the shot. She has the paint dribble. Just look up her highlights, man, or watch her games because she is fantastic to watch. Big fan of Kaylin. Also a big fan of Angel. I just think Caitlyn has this Roy locked up, man. Look at she had the first, the fastest. I don't know what the triple double number was. She had like some stat. I think it was the first rookie in NBA history to get a
She's the
triple.
first and only rookie to have ever gotten a triple double, and she did it in Game 22 against the New York Liberty.
Right, right, and the Liberty. Is that
Exactly.
right? Jesus fucking
I
Christ!
am absolutely correct.
The best team in the league. That's who she got it against. I mean, my goodness,
Absolutely.
it's
I mean,
crazy.
that's why
So
I think she's a generational talent.
I think she has this rookie of the year in the bag, man. I do. Um, but it's a
I
great
think so
rivalry.
too.
It's why we tune in. It's why we tune in. It's the reason why those numbers when they play each other, they're sky high, and they're gonna keep being
Oh,
sky high, and
absolutely.
it's gonna grow the game. It's gonna grow the game.
Yeah, the only thing you
Uh,
forgot to mention is was the 19 assists were WNBA record as well.
oh, there you go. See, even more case
Yeah.
for her being the rookie of the year. But Angel with those 15 double doubles is gonna have a case. Let's not act like it's not gonna be
Yeah, and
close.
and then here's the thing: if she continues on that pace where she's playing really good, right now she has 17 double doubles. She's on track to probably break the record of 22
Hmm.
for the season. So
Hmm.
she needs five more. She's gonna tie it. Six more. She's gonna break it. So at that point, she's gonna make it very hard for this rookie of the year debate. So
Yeah.
stay
Right.
tuned, man. It's
Uh huh.
it's only gonna get better. So
Absolutely.
if you guys are watching us, watch the WNBA. It's getting interesting.
Oh, most
It
definitely.
really is. And here's the thing: if we put a little money on it, it makes it even better. I'm just gonna throw that one out there.
Please, don't take that as encouragement to gamble. Gamble at your own risk. Have a bankroll. Be responsible. Okay, if you're betting, do not bet the mortgage. Do not bet. Don't be stupid. Bet $1 or two if you want to have some fun on it, and that's it. But don't be betting
Yeah.
big. Leave it to the pros. Okay. Um,
And
so
we by no
we're
means are
gonna
we
go.
pros. We're degenerates.
Well, I mean, I
I
make
mean,
money
it's
off it,
debatable
and
too.
it pays my bills sometimes. So, shit, I consider myself a pro. But sometimes when I make parlays, it's not a pro. If I'm betting parlays, I'm not being a pro. So let's just put it that way. But
Yeah,
and sometimes I can't help but put in a 3 leg parlay. It's the inner degenerate. I hang around this guy,
absolutely.
so it's that's why. But anyways, let's get in. My man Silos wants to shout out a certain Dodger. I can't believe I'm letting him do this. But go ahead, give him your thoughts,
I
you
couldn't have
degenerate.
done this except in episode one because just recently, Oscar Hernandez became the first and only Dodger to win that home run derby. So congratulations to Oscar Hernandez. Thank you for bringing it on home to L.A., not Orange County, L.A., Los Angeles County. You know, but thank you very much for bringing that out here. He celebrated out there with his family. Otani had something else to do. Freeman Smith left because of kids. Tyler Glasnow and Dino Ebel obviously were the only ones that stayed with him. Thanks for saying, man. You bringing out LA out here and definitely, making it exciting. Especially that last hit. I mean, it looked like it was gonna go a home run, and once I saw where it landed, right inside the park, we knew. I mean, the closest person to have ever gotten was Jock Peterson. Got to the finals and lost. But thank you, Delscar, for bringing that finally home. When I go back down there, and I want to see that trophy. And thank you. I will see you. And with that, also one last shout out to Vladi Guerrero Jr., who wore a Blue Jays jersey with Delscar Hernandez 37 and his name on the back in support for his brother. So hey, Respect, man, respect. And you know what? And since we're on baseball, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about Major League Baseball and who are pretenders and who are contenders and pretenders. I have a list that you have not heard yet. I mean, yesterday we kind of talked about it, but you're about to find out. So I want to see your live reaction here, and everybody pay attention to this man's face when I tell him who the contenders are and who the pretenders are. And I have my reasons, obviously. And I think one of
I'm a
the,
little scared. I'm a little scared.
one of these contenders is, I think we both agree.
Swear to
I
God.
mean, undeniable, the Philadelphia Phillies. I think the Phillies
we
are
agree on that.
undeniable.
Yeah. No,
I
that's
think
not
they are.
crazy reaction.
They are definitely. And you know what? You know I've been keeping track on them, and they've kind of been sneaking up. No one's talking about them. I mean, we kind of notice them here and there because obviously, we talk about it when we're talking about bets. But the Atlanta Braves, man, they're sneaking up on people.
No.
They're inconsistent. You're right. I know they're inconsistent, but they're sneaking up. Trust me, they are. Believe it or not, they're gonna give somebody a run for their money. And then the last two people that I think are contenders, and this is where I wanted you to see if you agree with me, and I don't know if you would, but just for the fact that they are who they are, the Dodgers and the Yankees are definitely contenders. And I know what you're thinking, but hold up, hear me out here.
You lied to me, man. You lied to me.
Hold on, hold up. You're gonna have to hold up a minute, and you have to also realize that they are still the
led
Dodgers and
astray,
the Yankees,
run amok, and
and
flat
you can
out
do whatever you want.
deceived. You did not
Okay,
tell me
hold on.
this before in the test run, man. I don't know. You should have
Of
lied.
course, I held out, but here's where my curveball goes.
We might have to split up Big Papi Productions over this.
Nah, we're not gonna split it up, man. We're too good with each other, man. But like I said, they're still the Yankees. They're still the Dodgers. You can never ever count them out. And for pretenders, I got a longer list for pretenders. I actually have the team in Cleveland. What's the Guardians? Sorry, I always confuse their previous name.
There for you.
Yeah, it's to me they will always be the Cleveland Indians. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I don't mean no disrespect, but that's who they've been for years for me.
For years, exactly.
The Baltimore Orioles and the Brewers. They're all great. They're all been playing pretty good.
Okay.
They're pretenders, man. I don't think I don't think they're.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have to really do something very drastic for me to change my mind on that. But I have two more teams on that list, and those are the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Oh man, really?
I have them on both lists, and here's why.
It's ridiculous.
Because
it can't be both, man.
Yeah, I can. Come on. Here's the thing. You got to understand one thing. They are the Dodgers. They are the Yankees.
He's about to do some mental gymnastics right now.
No, I'm not going to do no mental gymnastics. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they are the Dodgers. They are the Yankees. You can never count these people out. They will make. Remember, they still can trade for somebody, and we don't know. Yeah, you can you take off your Angels hat and think about it, and it's not gonna change my mind that at the end of the day, the Dodgers and the Yankees are still the Dodgers and the Yankees. They have the money to make major trades. I mean, come on. The Dodgers just spent what $700 million on a pitcher that doesn't even pitch right now. I mean, granted, he's a great hitter in Ohtani, but they're gonna definitely make some moves. And once these moves happen, they're gonna move. They're gonna go. Right now, they are. If they continue playing the way they're playing, they're definitely pretenders. But once these moves get made, which I know they're gonna be made, there's some moves that are gonna be made. Guess what? They're gonna become contenders. And then, come on, man. They have Glass now coming off of injury. They have Betts coming off of injury. They have Kershaw coming off of injury. Come on, man. And the list goes on. Max Muncy. Come on.
So much delusion, man. Oh my.
You could call me delusional, but at the end of the day, You and I both know that the Dodgers are the Dodgers, the Yankees are the Yankees, and you cannot deny the
Being called
at
the
all.
Dodgers is not a compliment, man. I don't know why you keep saying it like
Los
that, man.
Dodgers, my man.
Fucking just throw that shit in the trash, light it on fire. Um, are you done?
I'm done. Go ahead, man. Who's your?
So I want to directly respond to this notion that your Dodgers are somehow not only are you saying they're contenders and pretenders, which I think they're one or the other. Man, I don't know if I using the term mutually exclusive is applies here. I think it does. You can't be both. Okay, stop lying to yourself. Trying to cope. You're coping is what you're doing. Um, with the fact that you guys are complete trash right now. I'm looking at the live score actually. The Red Sox Dodgers. You know what the score is, Silos? I don't think you know.
I have not.
Boston, it's 1-0, and Boston is up 1-0, bottom of the eighth. You guys have gotten 0 hits. This is exactly what I mean when I say you guys are fucking frauds, okay? Fucking excuse. 23 at bats, and you gotten 2 hits today. And it's not even that great a pitcher, man. Nick Fabetta is not no ace. He does not have the stats to prove that he is. This is just an example. Okay, I got lists of these fuckers fucking up and selling shit. Okay, they cost us thousands of dollars in payouts. It's been painful to watch these motherfuckers sell shit. Okay, uh, so yeah, don't tell me that the Dodgers are contenders. Okay, because you're not. When you get healthy, we can reevaluate. We'll talk about it on the podcast. But you guys sell most of the time. Okay, you're not even top of your league with all that fucking money you spend on this team. And I don't really want to get too into the Dodgers because I got plenty to say about them. So I'm not even touching the surface on this shit. But you are pretenders, 100%. You're injured. I'll give you that. But I still think even healthy, you out in the first round, you getting swept. Okay, the way I've seen you guys play, inconsistent. You lose to egregiously bad teams, and you don't take care of business. You got swept by the Phillies, who I will transition to now. Those are contenders. That's what a real team is like, okay? When you handle your shit and you stand on business, that is a real team, okay? Phillies are the number one team in baseball record wise. Stats wise, they're top five in everything except home runs. They're 120. Defensively, they are they are they're top as well in OPS and batting average allowed and all the rest of the stats. They're top team in the league. They shit the bed just like every fucking baseball team does. It's if you follow baseball enough, you know, out of 160 games, you're bound to fuck up eventually. Baseball is one of those games where it's so pitcher dependent. You got to deal with starting pitchers, mid relief, and all that. That it's just too many variables to be able to guarantee a certain win percentage. Okay, the top teams will lose 60 games. Okay, we're already halfway through the season, and the Phillies have lost 35. They're certainly going to lose over 60 once it's all said and done, and that goes for every team. Okay, so I have the Phillies as contenders. I think top down, they have look at their entire fucking lineup. Unlike yours, who are statistically all stars, you guys shit the bed more than they do, and the top down, they have a couple weak links, but nothing compared to your weak links. Okay, so I got the Phillies. Think their top four pitchers shit on yours. I know you're injured. You can tell me that all you want. When Otani comes back and he starts pitching, then we can talk about you having real pitchers. But uh, I think we go to New York to address them. I don't think they're contenders right now. They were. If we talk about the May Yankees, I love me the May Yankees. Oh my God, they made it so much. At least I don't know if you. I think you
I bet a
agreed with
couple of
me on
times on
that.
them. I made some money off of those Yankees.
Yes, sir. May Yankees were great. Okay, they covered the run line almost every day. So it was great money. Sometimes it was plus money. That's what was crazy about the Maine Yankees. Now, I mean, they're not even top of their division. The Orioles are the top of their division. They're one game back from the Orioles. Okay, they're 5-5 in the last 10, which is actually an improvement. They are improving on that record. They won. They're on a 1 game winning streak, which is embarrassing to say that. They still have a great record. You know, not shading that at all. Um, they're still not top of the division. Okay, the Orioles are a great team, but they ain't even top, and the Red Sox are creeping up on them. Okay, the only reason they aren't up there with them is because they just simply haven't played as many games. Okay, so we look at that. Red Sox, they're my sleeper contenders. If you want to call it that, an asterisk, I don't care. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're on a 2 game winning streak. They probably are gonna win today. adding to that streak to fuck up your little boys in blue. Let's see what the score is real quick for the viewers,
It's
so they
still
know
one
what
nothing
I'm
with
looking
a
at.
man on
One
first,
zero. Yep. And now it's a
second and
ground, and
third.
then yeah, second and third. Otani just got a double. Um, the trader got a double, sure. But we I was gonna have that man's jersey too. Good thing I didn't buy it because I would have
You
probably
should have
I would have
represent.
given it away. I did if he was gonna stay. He had to go across the street, man. I don't want to talk about it too much. We could have
It
a
wasn't
whole
across the street.
discussion
It
on
was
that.
across county line.
Whatever, bro. You know what I mean. You want to get
You know what I
you
mean.
want to argue semantics. We can argue semantics, but not today. We're getting
Wow, they
close to the end.
walked.
We're getting close to the
Walk
end of the
Smith.
podcast. Well, it's because they're going for a double play here. Freeman, I guess.
They didn't know
Uh,
double play, my brother.
so I'm looking at the Red Sox. I think they are hot right now, and like you said, it takes a hot team to win this shit. So, uh, we are looking at the Red Sox. They're hot right now. They're hitting like crazy. They got solid pitchers. I think they are heating up at the right time. If we look at them a month ago, they were struggling to be 500, and now they're 11 games above 500. They're surging. They're going to keep getting better. I think they got hitters. They got my man Rafael Devers. He's a great player. They got good pitching staff. No one is egregiously bad in terms of pitching on this team. I don't think they have enough. I haven't seen enough out of them yet. I still think they're doing better than all the other contenders you mentioned, other than the Phillies. So I have the Red Sox as legitimate contenders. I think they're gonna get a wild card for sure because I don't know if they're gonna be able to catch Baltimore. I agree. Baltimore right now is looking like pretenders, even though they fucked up the Rangers today. They absolutely decimated them. Looking at the Rangers, they won. Orioles won 9-1. Teams have slumps. That's why we're looking at it. The Dodgers haven't had one. You could even argue they're having one. They just got swept by the Phillies not too long ago. The
Yeah, but the
Orioles
Phillies are the
are,
best team in the league, man. Come on, currently.
yeah,
All right.
excuses.
By the
Always
way,
come in
I
with
think I
excuses from
think there
these
might be a difference in the
degenerate
score
Dodger
right now
fans.
with it's 4-1 Dodgers.
They got a grand slam. Is that what that? Jesus Christ. Freeman got the grand slam. All right, cool. It took you to the eighth inning. This is what I mean. You guys are not consistent enough to get the job done.
Hey, it doesn't matter. A win is a win, man. My man.
Game ain't over. Game ain't over. This is the top of the ninth to be played. So, knowing you guys after you gave up that fucking sorry excuse of a performance against the Detroit Tigers, motherfuckers were up 9-4, and you gave up 7 runs to lose 9-11 in the extra innings. Don't
They
even
had.
defend it.
Hey, hold up. They
Fucking
had to make up for
embarrassing.
coming back on the Rockies when they were down by 5 and scoring 7 in the ninth to win.
Oh, you're
So
comparing yourself to
they
the
gave it up
Rockies.
to
You're
another team.
you're comparing yourself to the Rockies. That's exactly what I agree. You're on the same level as the Rockies.
Hey, man.
Colorado.
Shit
Shout out
happens. It's
Colorado.
baseball,
Shout
man.
out
You never
Coors
know.
Field. The Coors beer is actually pretty solid. Shout out to Coors beer. Um,
Feel free to
so
sponsor
yeah.
us next time.
Oh, absolutely. We'll talk all about Coors if you want. That being said, anyone wants to sponsor us, hit us up. Hit up Big Papi, the IG. We're gonna have a business email real soon. And real quick, we are in need of logos. So if any of you guys know people, with logo skills, let us know. We will pay for you for your work. We are not out here to rip people off. We will come up with a price that makes sense for both sides. We need a Big Papi Productions logo. We need a Big Papi Podcast logo. We need all types of logos and designs. Okay, so let us know if you know people who can get us in contact. We don't need them just yet. We're still babies out here, but we will need them. So with that said, that pretenders. I already shat on the Dodgers enough. I don't need to go. I don't need to tell you a new asshole. But I already. Um, we'll move on real quick because we are reaching. How much time we on, Silos? How much time are we?
I think we're good. I think we should end it
Okay.
here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if we have anything left, we'll just continue on episode
Uh,
2 next week.
hold on. Real quick, running through the bidding picks. So we'll do 30 seconds each. So my picks is the Gen Hour, real quick. Okay, for Saturday, July 20th. I'm betting
Again,
the fucking
gamble
Rays.
responsibly.
Gamble responsibly. Don't blame us for misses. This is not betting advice. I'm just saying I like these picks, and the
Give me
degree
20
of liking
seconds,
them.
really quick.
Yeah, are you going somewhere? 20 seconds? You just wanted to cut the podcast.
No, I'm not gonna cut the podcast. but it's Degeneration next time because we's
Oh,
about to get
okay.
degenerate up in here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
All
let's
right.
go with your
All right.
picks.
So, fuck, Mary kill is the style we're going to be running it for the foreseeable future until I get bored. So, fuck. Okay. Fuck is like, obviously you don't want to marry her, but good enough to one time, right? So, where I got the Phillies Pirates game, the line is set at 9 runs. I had don't. They got Sanchez on the mound for the Phillies, and they got I don't remember his name right now. I'm having a blank, but the Pirates pitcher is a very good pitcher. Under 9 runs at -115. I like it. I'm not crazy about it because the Phillies can pop off and get that over themselves any given day, but they don't do it often. So it's possible, but I don't see. And the Pirates are hot. They're fucking. They just won today. They were down big and they came back to win 8-7. So give me the under 9 runs. I think these pitchers get it done, and they hold it under nine. 9 is too high for these pitchers, but the Mary, the Twins. We love the Minnesota Twins. Okay, let's get that out of the way. We love them. Twins Brewers over 8 runs. This run line is way too low. Anytime the run line is 7.5 or 8, I always jump on the chance to take the over. Over 8 runs at even money. Fucking nuke it if you want. Obviously bet responsibly. Bet responsibly, but I'm gonna nuke it because I have the bankroll for it. But that's what I love. We love the Twins, man. They're
Sure do.
hitters. They honestly, we didn't mention them today on contenders, but fuck it, they're contenders. Okay, let's make it clear. We'll
Or at
talk
least they're
about them
money
more
makers.
on. And if they're money makers, but they win, bro. They get W's. They're explosive as hell. So I love the Twins.
Absolutely.
We love the Twins. But anyways, kill. I still like this pick. I picked it, but I don't love it, and I wouldn't fuck it either, because the Mets. Every time we place a bet on the Mets, literally, I think we're 0-7 now. Anytime we bet
Absolutely.
against them, we bet for them, or we bet the runs, total runs, they fuck us over and we lose. We're 0-7 or 0-8. They don't get me. We'll talk about the Nets on another time because we're running out of time today. But give me the 1.5 because the money line must be egregious because the run line is at -161. So they got to win by 2. -161 is a terrible price. I think it's gonna hit, but the price is terrible. You're not getting a good return on your investment. So yeah, I think it hits. I just don't like the price. I personally will not bet it. But if you want it and you like taking a gamble on these motherfucking New York Mets who are annoying as hell, take it. It's gonna hit, in my opinion. We'll see. We'll have totals at the end of the. We'll keep updating you on the totals for these picks that we make. So I took 3 picks today. Silos, let them know what you took so we can wrap up this podcast.
All right, I know we said fuck, marry, and kill, but honestly, I have several things to do, especially with work, because I actually have an actual job here that I have to do, even though I'm at home in a
Absolutely.
sense. So I just pretty much picked 2 locks. So you know what I got to say to that? You know what? I'm gonna say here comes the money because I'm gonna pick 2 locks for tomorrow, and I think we might not agree, but I think this is gonna be a hit, which is Orioles Rangers under 8, which is currently at -115, and
Whiskey.
the Giants spread at -1.5, which is
Oh,
currently
the
at
web.
+108. If you parlay those, you will get a plus approximately a +285. Doing the math in my head here, I think those are a lock. Um, and if they don't hit, man, again, bet responsibly. Don't bet more than you have. Because
Absolutely.
I'm gonna actually bet about $20. It's not a lot,
On the
but
two
it'll be
leg? On the two
on a
leg?
2-legger.
Oh my god, you degenerate.
Yes, sir. Which I
Best
typically
of
do
luck.
five
Best of
dollars.
luck to you. Real quick, I know we said we were wrapping this up. I did promise somebody I was gonna talk Jake Paul. It's gonna be like 10 seconds, but Jake Paul versus Mike Perry tomorrow, July 20th. We got Jake Paul, both of us do. So he's 9-1, which is an unproven boxer in Mike Perry. Jake needs to start fighting real boxers. Obviously, we all agree on that. But Jake's gonna win, probably maybe by KO. To be honest, Jake is he sells, man. He's a seller, so I can't argue that. I'm not betting on him at all because I mean I don't like betting boxing. I think it's if there's a rigged sport, it's boxing. Um,
Absolutely.
But yeah, Jake Paul, gonna take it against Mike Perry. Uh, yeah. Any other final thoughts on that, Silos?
No, I absolutely agree with you. When Jake Paul first started his boxing venture, I wasn't too happy about it. It is what it is. But I've seen all his fights. I just love to watch, man. I love boxing.
Yeah,
I
he's
love contact sport.
entertaining.
Um,
Entertaining guy.
he has improved. And Mike Perry, he has knocked people out in, I think it's called bare knuckle championship or whatever that MMA place is called. And he's knocked out a few people, but that's bare knuckle, man. Where they're just you put on a glove, it's a little bit harder. And I think Jake Paul has had a few, has what 9, 10 fights under his
Nine
belt
wins.
already.
9 wins. Yeah.
Um, so he definitely has the advantage, and so I think he's gonna win. I honestly think he will win by KO. Um, you could put a lock on that, whatever you want, but yeah, he's definitely. I
At
think
your own
he's
risk.
definitely gonna be a knockout.
Absolutely. Okay, that wraps us up, guys. Make sure you follow us on the Big Papi Podcast on IG. This is going on Spotify. This will go on YouTube. We will post on the IG those links for you guys to go check out the podcast. Obviously, if you found this podcast, you already know where it is. But follow us on the IG. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. We're creating a Facebook account. We might put this on SoundCloud too if there's enough demand on that. We're gonna put this everywhere. We're gonna grow the brand. Big Papi, Big Papi P, BPP, Big Papi Productions, Big Papi the podcast, all that
Just don't
stuff.
say big peepee.
Yes, don't say that. BPP or BP if you want. BP. Big Papi is the brand that we go on with, and that's an LLC too, by the way. Big Papi Productions. So I'm your host, Tony Millones. That's my name for today. See, let's go ahead and sign off, my friend.
All right, CeeLo signing out. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.